What's up? How is everybody doing today? It is CJ, and we're just here for a little bit of chit chat. We haven't done one of these in a while. I mean, come to think of it, we haven't done anything in a while. But like I told y'all in my last video, I'm trying to get back on track. Just was dealing with a whole lot of stuff, but hey, that's just, a little bump in the road, but ain't nothing to a G. But anyway, before we get started, y'all know, as always, please make sure that you go ahead and tap that like button. Also, go ahead and subscribe to my channel, share it with your friends, and hopefully they'll share it with their friends. And like y'all already know, so we can all be friends. But anyway, I hope everybody is having a great weekend. Mine started off fantastic. We're like a big college football family here in my house, and my team won. Michigan State. Y'all probably can't see my shirt, but I'm wearing a Spartans football shirt because I'm a huge Michigan State fan. Grew up in Michigan. Have always loved all things Michigan State, even though I went to TSU, but that's a different story for a different day. And yeah, my team went out and did what they had to do against the Michigan Wolverines. So we're still undefeated, 8-0, but good for them. Anyway, y'all ain't here for all that. Let's talk about what we came to talk about. Now, today we're going to talk about Fetty Wap, Young Miami, Nene leaks, and Lil Boosie. We're going to just talk about, there is not a ton of stuff going on this week, but I did kind of think that those stories stood out. So we'll go ahead and talk about them. Now, we'll start with Fetty Wap. Now, Mr. Fetty Wap, who was born William Jr. Maxwell, is facing some major time. Apparently, I don't know if it had anything to do with like the records not selling or, the pandemic or what the case was or might have been. But your boy Fetty has been out here allegedly dealing in some illegal activities, and we'll talk about him. Like him, along with 5 other guys who I won't name because the story ain't really about them. We talking about Mr. Wap. They were arrested and hit with federal drug charges. Now, allegedly, they're a part of this drug ring where they were distributing cocaine, heroin, fentanyl across Long Island and New Jersey. Now, they jammed Mr. Wap up right before he was scheduled to perform at the Rolling Loud Festival. And these charges are like for real. Now, according to the news, they say, that the others involved, they're facing firearms in connection with drug trafficking, in addition to conspiring to distribute and possess controlled substances. Now, it's said that they used the United States Postal Service to transport these drugs from the West Coast to the East Coast where they were. The postal trucks, I guess, had secret compartments, and they hired drivers to go and pick up the product and bring it back to the East Coast where they were distributing. Now, according to the story that I read, they also say that it was more than 100 kilograms of, drugs that they have sold across the Long Island and New Jersey, I guess, area between June of 2019 and June of 2020. So I guess this operation had been going on for an entire year before they got what they needed to get these guys on these charges, allegedly. And so if convicted, they're facing, life in prison. And it's not sounding too confident because all his attorney had to say was, we're praying that this was just a big misunderstanding. So he didn't seem too confident in his client to say, this is absolutely untrue. My client is 100% innocent. We're going to fight this. We're going to clear this up. he's just praying that it's a big misunderstanding. Now, that doesn't sound too confident to me. And it sounds like Fetty Wap may be going down. So I don't know. I mean, do we offer prayers for him? I know he was in the media not too long ago because he and the mother of his child lost their daughter, and our hearts went out to him for that. But now you're back in the media for a horrendous reason. So we'll have to see where this goes, and we'll keep our eyes open for what is to come. And next, I know unless you've been living under a rock, you have seen, go away. My dog is shaking the camera, y'all. I'm sorry. I mean, he just hates for me to be talking to something that he cannot see. So he won't be still. But anyway, Young Miami, like I said, unless you've been under a rock somewhere, you have seen her in this red leather, BDSM kind of deal for the new song her new solo song that she has out called Rap Freaks. Now, in Rap Freaks, she names, 14 celebrities that she fantasizes of, having, sex with or whatnot. But, to name a few, she names 50, she names Future, DaBaby, Diddy, I think, Moneybagg Yo, and I'm not sure who else. It was a couple, but the song, how do y'all feel about it? It was hard for me to catch the beat because we know Miami is just very unique. A lot of people will say that she can't rap. She is hilarious to me. I love her to death. She is just hilarious, but it was hard for me to catch on. I couldn't catch the rhythm of the song. I only listened to it once because my kids were around. They kept coming in and out, and they don't need to be hearing nothing she was talking about, nor do they need to see the video. So if you haven't seen the video yet or heard the song, don't do it around little ones. Don't do it if you got kids. Wait till they in the bed or at school or whatever they may be, out of your presence before you listen to it. Now, she tells, of her sexual fantasies with each of these rappers. And she also wanted us to know that the song is not to be taken seriously, because y'all know how we do in social media. We'll run with something, like she was saying something about bag, and Ari was like, she already told me about the song a while ago, and so I don't know why y'all tripping, because y'all know we'll try and turn a mountain into a molehill, and Ari just wasn't feeding into it, thank goodness. And so she tells us to not, don't take this song too seriously. Take her seriously as an artist, but don't take these words to heart. Now, she says that she was inspired by legendary rappers such as Trina, Lil Kim, Biggie, Nicki Minaj. We know they had some pretty raunchy songs, or have some pretty raunchy songs out. And, she was just, I guess, kind of paying homage to them in this song and just kind of following suit. Now, as I said, don't watch this video with your kids, but do watch it because I want to know what y'all think about it. For my people who don't listen to rap music, then, this segment ain't for you. I wouldn't make you watch it if you didn't want to or listen to the song. But for those of you that do, or if you have already listened to it and watched the video, just kind of let me know in the comments below what you thought about it. And so next, we'll talk about Miss Nene Leakes. Now, our hearts went out to Nene here weeks ago in the passing of her husband, Greg Leakes. Our hearts were broken right along with her. Greg was one of our favorite house husbands of Housewives. And to see him pass and to experience, his journey with cancer with her, it was very emotional for all of us when he passed away. Now, we saw, how Nene left Housewives, and we saw her relationship with a lot of the housewives fizzled. They were no longer friends. We saw that nobody was really featuring her. They weren't, here for her because she kind of lashed out at others out of anger or what have you. And so they all decided, I guess, not to be friends. Now, a relationship in particular that everybody kind of kept an eye on was between she and Cynthia Bailey. Now, we know that she and Cynthia Bailey were very, very good friends. A lot of people would call Cynthia Nene's lapdog just because she was just so into Nene. We remember the friendship contract and all that other stuff. But over time, I guess, Cynthia began to become friends with people who Nene wasn't necessarily cool with. And Nene kind of wanted her to choose allegiance and pick a side. And so she wouldn't do that. And in turn, they ended up not being friends anymore. Well, we hear that Cynthia did not attend the actual funeral, but we know that Cynthia and her husband were at the after party / celebration of life that they had at the Lanithia, the lounge. We saw pictures of all the housewives being present. I even think Kenya was present. All of the housewives came to support. Go away. Stop. Sorry. They came to support Nene in, her time of need. Well, the other morning, Nene was on a radio interview and people were asking questions. They were able to, reach out to her and ask her questions, and she was answering them on the air. Well, somebody wanted to know, they asked a question about Cynthia, and Nene let it be known, that Cynthia was not present at the memorial. And she also let us know that her castmates or former castmates all chipped in to give her a $200 bouquet, I guess, for the funeral or whatnot. And so she, and it's hard to say because I know Nene is grieving. I don't know what it's like to lose a husband, so I can't say how she is allowed to act or, whatever, because I don't know. But she made it seem like it was kind of like a layer of ungratefulness there, because she was just like, all these women, and they're making all this money, yet they all kind of chip in for a $200 bouquet. But on the other hand, she was complaining about all the flowers, not really wanting all the flowers that she received in XYZ. So I understand her point, but at the same time, I mean, they did something, they did something, they could have kind of left it where it was, and then that would have been a problem. So I do think that, she has the right to say what she wants and she has the right to feel the way she feels. But now you got people like Claudia Jordan who are coming after her and kind of saying, you need to be thankful that they did anything for you, and calling her ungrateful and XYZ. And she came in, retaliation with like a tearful live or a video, just kind of begging her stalkers to leave her alone. And I think that was directed towards Claudia Jordan, because Claudia has been very vocal about the situation, and she does have like a large platform where she can get her opinion out there and people can chime in or whatever. But let me know what y'all think about it. Does it seem like Nene was being ungrateful to you? Do you think that she probably just shouldn't have said anything about it at all? I honestly think that Marlo is probably the only one that she is probably truly, truly cool with out of the whole cast at this point. So, it kind of is what it is in that situation. But let me know what y'all think. And then lastly, we got Lil Boosie. Lil Boosie Boo. On last Saturday, Lil Nas X, he went live and he was kind of trolling Lil Boosie in a sense, saying that Boosie and I, we got a collaboration coming out and it's going to be fire, And this has only come in, he was just kind of taunting Boosie because Boosie has been very vocal about his, dislike for Lil Nas X and how he's just been so upset that Lil Nas X told them to F the kids. And I mean, saying F the kids was just, that was just the last straw. Don't say F the kids, but he said F the kids, and Lil Boosie has been on this like rant ever since. He has just definitely, he has made it known that he doesn't like Lil Boosie. Not Lil Boosie, Lil Nas X. And, he talks about Lil Nas' sexuality. We know Lil Nas is gay and Lil Boosie has a problem with that. And he claims, on one hand, he's kind of bashing gays. And on the other hand, he goes and shows us videos where he has gay staff and XYZ. But anyway, he went on this tirade in turn, of Lil Boosie making that video. And I just want to read it word for word because I don't want to, misquote anything that he said. And you can gather your own, opinion and tell me what you think about this. But Lil Boosie tweeted, and since then, these tweets have been deleted. But y'all know, once you put it out there, it's out there because we're going to screenshot the hell out of it. We got it. So anyway, he says, "Stop trolling me, F word." And, the derogatory term for a gay person. Laugh out loud. "You a whole bitch playing with a gangster." Shake my head. "You can keep sucking dick and getting effed in your A in peace." That's a part of it. He then goes on to say, hashtag "you hate yourself. I would too if I was you." And then lastly, to put the icing on the cake, he ends it with Nas X, "If you hashtag commit suicide, you would do this world a huge favor. Nobody wants you here." So those were his words to the 22-year-old rapper. And we could say a lot about Lil Boosie. He just, the way he does life, the way he moves. We laugh at a lot of his antics because some of them are funny, but a lot of times, when you get to this hurtful stage, then it shouldn't be funny. But when you are trying to convince somebody that they should commit suicide, that's not funny. When you go and you make these homophobic remarks, that's not funny. And I think people want people like Dave Chappelle's head on a stick because of his comedy special. But I don't really see an outrage about, I see people like T.S. Madison. She put stuff up, about her problem with Lil Boosie and, other people you'll see sprinkled here and there. I think Azalea Banks, other people have spoken out about this issue. But for you to encourage somebody to commit suicide, I think that's a problem. I think it's a big problem. He should really kind of not say as much as he says. This is the same man who got on camera and let us know in the live that he paid an adult woman, a grown woman, a sex worker to come and perform sexual activities on his underage son and I believe his nephew. So you just don't know when to be quiet. It seems like I mean, you say, you know, you got the hood behind you and all this stuff. And I mean, and we got just this generation of people with this like crazy way of thinking that we just think because somebody thinks different as us or lives different as us or doesn't do the same things that we do, that they're a problem. But I don't see where they're hurting anybody. If they're not hurting anybody, I don't know why it's a problem. And what he said was not cool to me, but you got people speaking out in support of him. You know, Big Frida didn't think anything was wrong with it. She thought it was fine. Well, she said she likes Lil Boosie, or I'm not sure what Big Frida, what the pronoun is, if Big Frida goes by he or she. So please don't get on me for saying it wrong. But Big Frida says that they like Boosie. Boosie is cool with them. And he just kind of used that, you know, as vindication. Like, you know, Frida, you know, understands. Frida didn't think that what I said was wrong. And I mean, it was still wrong. I don't care who spoke out in support of you, who likes you. But those are my thoughts about that. Let me know what y'all think. And we don't have to agree on stuff. We talk about everything here respectfully, of course. I mean, we all family. We can talk about it. I would love to know what y'all think about all the topics we discussed. I try not to hold y'all here long. But anyway, if some more stuff comes up throughout the week, I'll hop on and we'll talk about it. I'll just do a couple of these like throughout the week, I guess, because I mean, stuff is constantly happening and I don't really think that I should just wait till one time a week to talk about it. If something happens, then we can just talk about it whenever. And I think I'll start doing them like that. But that's my time, y'all. I'm gonna let y'all go. Thank you so much if you made it to the end of the video. And like I said, don't forget, like the video, subscribe to my channel, please share it, and I will see you guys in the next one. Y'all enjoy the rest of your weekend. I'm gonna do it, and I will see y'all later. Peace.